Hello everybody, welcome to Blonde Adventures. I've been meaning to make this video for the last month. I've been working on it, but I'm having trouble with my GoPro. Well, in all fairness, it's not the GoPro, it's the operator. But today, I wanted to show you the Indian Mounds in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Very cool. They think they're from like 2000 BC, so they have been here a very long time, from the Hopewell Indian tribe. They're just really cool. I remember when I was a little kid, you can see them really good from the highway. You still can. I was a little kid and we were riding in the car and I asked my dad, I was like, what are those? What are those funny bumpy hills? He's like, those are Indian mounds. And I was only like 3 or 4 and I was like, wow, that's cool. That's really cool. So I'm just gonna show you. They're fenced off. I'm not gonna go anywhere near the fence. I have Native American in me, not Hopewell, but out of respect for these people and the culture, I'm not crossing the fence. I mean, other people will. I'm not gonna do it. It's just not right. So I'm just gonna show you around here and see what you think. I'm not gonna be down here long because this area has always creeped me out. Back in the 80s, well, actually not that long ago, this is where they like to dump the bodies on Indian Mounds Road. They've cleaned it up a lot though. I mean, a lot. It's not like it was back in the 80s. We used to drive down here to scare ourselves late at night. With these junky old cars we owned because we were kids, and it was part of the excitement. But yeah, I'm not going to be down here long. But it's beautiful. It is so beautiful down here. I'm just going to show you some of the beautiful spots down here by the river. I love it down here. Okay, so I'm going to drive us back here. It's a beautiful day today. 41. Woohoo! Yay! That's what I'm talking about. It's almost summer. No, I'm kidding. It's the end of March. But I love driving back here. It's so cool. It's hard to believe you're in the middle of the city. I love nature. But they've really cleaned this up. I mean, it used to get a really bad rap back in the day. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell, too, where exactly the mounds are. They're off to the right. Not yet, though. They built I-96 along here, and when they were building I-96, they just dumped dirt everywhere. But even worse, they wanted to tear the mounds down, and thank God the Native American community, let them have it. So they didn't. But you know how people were back in the day. No respect for other people's cultures. Well, heck, they're still that way, unfortunately. But the Hopewell tribe lived along the river. There were Indian mounds north of this too, right on the banks of the Grand River. They say they were right where the present-day Gerald R. Ford Museum stands, and those were leveled to build housing or something in the 1800s. But they say at one point they had 50 along here. But they wanted to, God, I can't think of the scientific word, investigate or whatever. Basically, they wanted to grave rob. That's what I call it. So they started getting into them, tearing into them, and putting the stuff in museums, and a lot of that went on in the 1800s. I forget the guy's name who did it. I'll add it in later. Gerald R. Ford Museum, they have 3 big hills, and I never knew what that was about. And those are like a tribute to the ones they destroyed back in the day, which is nice. I mean, it's nice that they acknowledged what they did. But we're not going to cross the fence. The fence is down in several places, and you know, people do all the time, but I'm not going to do it. I mean, there's a sign up saying it's illegal. Not that I'm really worried about that. For me, it's a respect thing. I have Cherokee in me, and I have nothing but love for the indigenous people. So I'm not going to go tramping through there. And really, there's nothing to see. I'll include pictures on the end or somewhere in the middle, so you can see what they look like. It's just a beautiful day. I have a GoPro 360, so I hope you're seeing a lot of this stuff. But what they did, they would bury them. They would put leaves and ash and stuff over them. They would put their pottery in with them, their tools, their arrowheads, their bows, whatever they felt that they would need in the afterlife. They would put them in there, kind of like the Egyptians did. So pottery, stuff like that. The descendants of the Hopewell are known as the 3 tribes. I think it's pronounced Anishinaabe. Don't come for me if I pronounced it wrong. But we're here, and there's a creepy truck. So I'm going to pull up right here. We're not going to be here really long, but I'm going to pull up and I'm going to show you something so neat. Don't mind my terrible film skills. I'm learning. But along here, they're back there. They have it fenced off. All along here. And you can hear traffic from I-96. But on the fence, those are tobacco offerings to the natives, which I think is cool. All along here. We should have brought something, but I don't smoke, so can't afford it these days. But anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. And over here is the Grand River. Very cool, very beautiful. I mean, it looks really, everything's dead, but spring's coming. The trees are starting to bud. And there is the railroad bridge, where they say back in the 80s they did like devil sacrifices and devil stuff, devil worship. I don't know.